You're listening to the Coffee Hour. I'm Andy Bates.
I'm Sarah Golseth.
It is Thursday morning, April 4th. It's your reminder of what day it is.
Thank
Sarah.
you.
You're welcome.
I'm real.
Did you like yesterday? I had to text you a picture of the calendar so you know what day it is.
I was so bad on Tuesday. Oh man, it was Wednesday in my head.
So now we've confirmed that it is Thursday,
It
April
is
4th.
Thursday, and it's raining.
It's raining. We have two
It's
good
warm.
topics on deck today.
We do. These are really good.
Coming up in the second half, really unique opportunity, a great benefit for schools this year, for LCMS schools. We'll share that with you. LCEF, Lutheran Church Extension Fund, has something really exciting and great to offer schools this year. So stick around for that. And have you thought about being foster parents? Have you thought about being a foster family? We're going to find out how to do that, too, in just a little bit as well. Thanks to Concordia University, Wisconsin for supporting the Coffee Hour. Find out more about Concordia University, Wisconsin at cuw.edu. Joining us by phone this morning, Bev Schaefer. She's with Lutheran Family and Children's Services of Missouri, serving in child welfare services. Bev, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Sure, I'm glad to be here.
How does foster care through Lutheran Family and Children's Services make a difference for children in our communities here in Missouri, in the St. Louis area? And then also, I know we have LFCS has services in other parts of Missouri as well. But how does a foster care through LFCS make a difference?
Well, our foster care is voluntary foster care, which is so different than the state's foster care. So when a mother may be having an unplanned pregnancy, she may call us and say, I'm not sure I'm able to parent. I'm just really confused. And so we will walk with her through her pregnancy and help her decide what's best for her and her baby. So sometimes that does involve taking the baby into foster care. If the mom has just showed up at the hospital and has had a baby and hasn't made any plans, we will take that baby into foster care to help mom decide if she's even able to parent. And if she's not able to parent, then we have many, many profile books of loving couples who are so desiring a baby. And then during the time that baby's in foster care, she can choose from all those different profiles who she would like to have be her baby's forever family. But our other big service that we offer are for moms who are struggling, maybe due to homelessness, maybe because they need a job, maybe because they're in a shelter. Those moms can call us and say, I need 2 weeks to a month of care for my children while I try to stabilize my life. And so we call that our crisis care foster care. And we will take children anywhere from 0 to age 5 and take them into care while we help the mother. And a worker is assigned specifically to the mother to help her either get her daycare assistance, to help her find a job, to help her find safe housing, to get her into counseling, or sometimes it's to get her medications stabilized. So we are always needing foster families who would love to take children 0 to age 5 for 2 weeks to a month to help out these moms who are really trying to be a mom, but they just have had barriers and stumbling blocks along the way, and they just need a breather where they can get on their feet. And also that this service of ours helps keep children out of Children's Division so that this mom isn't hotlined because she's walking the street with her children or for whatever reason. Does that answer it at all? I don't know if I got off track or not.
Yeah, it does. These services really, they sound so wonderful. That it helps strengthen families, and it helps with the crisis care, foster care. Really, aims to keep families together and keep them strong. Is that along the right lines?
Of course, right. And during the time that the children are in foster care with all the new electronic things that are going on, the foster family usually sends text messages and pictures to the mom showing that the kids are doing fine, and that's a big relief and a big, the moms are afraid of foster care because, there's a lot of stories that are out there about, all these bad things about foster care, but in reality, 99% of foster families are just loving, wonderful people who love children and want to help families and mothers. And so when this mother can get a picture of her children playing with Play-Doh or at the playground or whatever while they're in foster care, it just reassures her that she's doing the right thing.
Absolutely. Now, you mentioned a need for foster parents. What is that need for foster parents today?
Well, it sounds terrible to be this specific, but everything's about funding sources nowadays, which is very sad. But the Children's Service Fund, which is a wonderful fund that Lutheran gets, much financial help. For me to be able to use any of the Children's Service funding, I need to have foster families that are in St. Louis County, and I need to have at-home moms. And the reason why for that is that because we only have the children in for such a short time, daycares don't want to take our foster children into care for 2 weeks or a month, when that would then hold up a position that could end up being a full-time position of a child coming in for a year or something. So it's very hard for us to find daycare if the foster mom is working. Now, sometimes the foster mom will say, oh, well, my mother lives in the house with us, and, she would be glad to watch the children while I'm at work, which is fine. We would do record checks on the grandma then, and would then certify her that she could be the babysitter for the child. So if a family, sometimes foster moms will work from home. Their job may be that they work from home. Well, that would be a situation then that we could put a child in that home if she feels comfortable that she can watch a child and also be able to work from home. So what I'm looking for, honestly, are St. Louis County at-home moms. Now, if there's some families out there who just really, really desire to be a foster home and they do work full time and they would prefer older children, we are partners with Good Shepherd, bringing families together in our little haven. We all partner and collaborate together, and they want foster families. They'll take any foster family for Children's Division kids who could live in the city, the county, Jefferson County, St. Charles, or whatever, as long as they meet the criteria, of course, which is required to become a foster family. But if anyone, like I said, still desires to be a foster home, we can find a place where they can fit in, whether it's here at Lutheran or bringing families together at Good Shepherd or our little haven.
So there's a definite need for foster families here in Missouri, that's for sure.
Oh, yes, because so many foster families who have been foster families for 15, 20, 25, and 30 years, they are now retiring from fostering. And so getting some younger blood into being foster parents is what we really need.
Walk us briefly through the process of becoming a foster family. We have just about 3 minutes.
Okay. Our application, you can go to Lutheran Family and Children's Services website. There's an application there. But they can also call Jenny, our intake worker. Her number is 754-2807. And she is very knowledgeable about everything about fostering for us or for one of our partners. But you do have to go through record checks. You do have to have a physical. You do have to have references. And, of course, you have to have background checks. And that would be just about the package that's required to become a foster family.
And so who would make ideal foster families? If they have children at home already, or does that matter?
It doesn't really matter. It's just someone who has love in their heart and cares about children, who knows that these children may be coming from situations that are something that sometimes we can't even imagine. And so they may never have eaten at a kitchen table, or maybe they've never had their own toothbrush, or just different things that we take so much for granted. But if they're willing to open up their hearts and homes to just loving and caring for these children, they really can't imagine what even just 2 weeks in care with a loving family can make a difference with these children.
What kind of training or preparation is required for in order to be a foster family?
Well, as you're going through the home study process, which involved all those things I previously mentioned, the worker will work with the family going over the foster parent handbook, which will just talk about child development, and it talks about trauma and talks about nutrition and just everything. It's if you end up going through the state's foster care, which would be Good Shepherd and bringing families together, they have 27 hours of training called STARS that the family has to attend. But if you go through Lutheran Family and Children's Services, because we do not do foster care for the state, we have our own handbook and our own training, and they also have to get 20 hours of related training every 2 years, even while they're licensed. So we continue to train them all the whole time that they're licensed foster parents.
Share with us some of the feedback you've received from families who serve as foster families, or from some of the moms who have benefited from the care of foster families for their children.
Well, I'll tell you, with the moms, we get a lot of hugs. You know, we get a lot of hugs just because that 2 weeks or a month, it's amazing with someone holding your hand and helping guide you how much a mother can accomplish in that short period of time with assistance. And so we get lots of hugs and lots of tears from the moms. As far as the foster families, with every child that they have in their home, it is a feeling for them that they are doing God's work, that God has called them to become foster parents, and so they do the best they can with these children, and it's amazing. It's just amazing to me how bonded they become with these children in such a very short time.
You can find out more about being a foster family and volunteer foster care as well through lfcsmo.org. That's a website for Lutheran Family Children's Services of Missouri. Our guest today, Bev Schaefer, Lutheran Family and Children's Services of Missouri Child Welfare Services. Thank you so much, Bev, for being our guest today on the Coffee Hour.
Sure, anytime.
Coming up in just a little bit, we have a great opportunity for LCMS schools. You want to stick around and listen to it because they're offering some outstanding grants for LCMS schools this year. I'm Andy Bates.
I'm Sarah Gulseth.